Not your flying. It's your attitude. The enemy's dangerous. But right now, you're worse than the enemy. You're dangerous and foolish. You may not like the guys flying with you. They may not like you. Well, whose side are you on?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's High Fly episode of the Friday Night Frenzy, where everything is canon and the topics, they're more like a set of guidelines. So, first off, we have Super Wonder Enjoyer, Jared from Comics League. How you doing, buddy?
Smile for the birdie.
Okay. All right.
Did you really
okay.
not get that? We're covering Top Gun and you really didn't get that? Some Top Gun reviewer you are.
Next up, we have the man who Rooftop Korean is his favorite gender. We have Chris, the Infinitale Chronicle.
How's it going?
And last, and certainly not least, we have Phantom Menace enjoyer herself, the one with the most contrarian of opinions, Melee K.
Why you gotta do that? Why am I contrarian? Because I like the prequels?
Because I'm a freaking butthole, and I feel like, goes violence.
You know what?
So how's everyone doing today?
At least I'm not walking in here saying I like the sequels.
Oh,
That would be contrarian.
No
I don't
one
like
likes
the
that.
sequels.
No one
Exactly.
likes that.
That would
Yeah.
be contrarian.
I'm recovering from Deadpool and Wolverine, which was freaking dope.
Oh, that was so
You
good.
saw it already?
Yes,
Oh my
I
I did
God.
did.
too. I saw
Opening
it yesterday.
weekend, opening day.
wow.
Oh my god.
It's Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. That's the unwritten bro rule. You see his movies opening day when he's playing Wolverine.
All
When's
right,
the last time we saw him as Wolverine before
Logan,
this?
2016 or something like that, I think.
Didn't he make a cameo in like an
Wow.
X-Men movie after that or something?
Yeah.
Like Apocalypse?
Okay.
Because he wasn't in Dark Phoenix, I don't think.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't Apocalypse. They gave him like a comic accurate like Weapon X thing or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was pretty good. If you like their previous films, you'll enjoy this one. That's the best I'll say. But what's everyone been playing? Let's kind of go around and talk about that for a little bit. Ladies first, Chris.
He didn't fall for the bait.
The silence.
All right, fine. Melee, go ahead.
Well, I just did a extreme deep dive on Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, which is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. I did a stream yesterday with a few people, and I'm probably going to release another video soon just talking about points. I made like a 4-page document on all the changes between the Switch version and the GameCube version, so I've just been like
You call me autistic.
super deep. I'm autistic about like 5 games, and I was asked to talk about one of them. And I
Only
was like,
5?
well, crap! Now I gotta like get really deep into this. So yeah, and I've also been playing Dead or Alive like a lot, and like every Dead or Alive pretty much.
You like that they go up and down, up and down.
They are the best jiggle physics in the biz.
Another
They are
drop,
just top tier.
All right,
No, I've been
Chris.
playing all of them. They're
Okay.
good.
Have
Go
you
play DOA.
Have you played Saints Row 4? The jiggle physics if you're playing as a female character is way better.
Is that
Whoa.
the one where you're president, or is that a different one?
Yep, that's the one where
It
you're
is.
president,
It's actually a pretty good game.
and they
haven't
put you in the
played it yet.
Matrix. It's really
Time to
good.
get.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
I'll play that.
Yeah, you
I'm
get
sold.
like superpowers, and there's actual like video game parodies. Like there's a Metal Gear Solid parody level where if
You-
you die, it goes boss, 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 and there's literally a level where they reenact They Live because the vice you have.
Oh
the
my
vice
god, that's all you had to say to me. They live?
No, Keith David is your vice president. Literally Keith David.
Oh, that's cool.
And they bring in Roddy Ride Piper. It's actually voiced by him. And they actually recreate the street fight from They
You
Live.
dirty mother.
I'm,
You
like,
can
so
even use a
sold.
parody Wonder Woman armor, which of course I did, and they don't have Israeli accents, so I just use French. I was like, close enough.
But
Of
they
the
have
ones I
Jennifer-
had, it's either Laura Bailey, a Southern girl, or a French woman.
Also,
Close
Nolan
enough.
North is one of the male voice actors, and he gets like a special track. Like, what are you gonna do? Be Nolan?
Or he goes, I'm just a voice actor.
Yeah.
I'm sold. I knew Keith David was in it, but I didn't know that Roddy Piper comes back for that. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really great. Like, probably my favorite moment is you're escaping from an alien spaceship, and all of a sudden, "What Is Love" comes on, and I was playing as Laura Bailey, like, "Shut up! This is my jam." So you're just
And-
like going.
The last battle, they recreate the "One Shall Stand, One Shall Rise" scene from the old Transformers movie, and they're playing "You Got the Touch, You Got the Power" in the background.
Or even better, in the intro, they literally play "I Don't Want to Lose a Thing" as you're going up the rocket.
Yeah.
They're all saying their
Oh,
goodbyes.
like Armageddon.
And I don't
Yeah.
want to miss a thing.
That's great.
How do they go from that to that awful abomination that killed the company?
I mean, do I need to say the obvious?
That's clearly whoever worked on the fourth
A
one was not-
certain Baby Ink, maybe.
Well, to be
like-
fair, in brief, what happened with Volition is they wanted to branch out. So they did Agents of Mayhem, that bombed, and so they tried to do a reboot. Which, to be fair, reboot was a fair move to make after Agents of Mayhem, and they totally botched it. They could have actually recovered with a good reboot, but they totally messed it up.
Yeah, they were attempting basically a parody of Grand Theft Auto. So it was kind of like the knockoff Grand Theft Auto that was a little more wackier. But
Well, that's what the thing is, that's what we're doing from the beginning. But they kind of carved out their own identity. Like two was like the balance of like comedy and seriousness. 3, they went fully into wackiness, and it's very apparent with Saints Row. People like the wacky Saints Row stuff. Like Saints Row actually carved out its own niche. Like that's why all the other, like, you don't hear about true crime.
Nope.
I mean, that morphed into Sleeping Dogs.
yeah,
All the other
Well-
GTA knockoffs went away, but Saints Row stuck around.
and unfortunately they lost track of what attracted their customers. I mean, if the zaniness, the giant 3-foot long purple dildo that you can beat people to death with, is what
A
attracted that
dubstep
market.
gun,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the dubstep gun, dude. I actually laughed at that. But like,
or
you
even
can
better,
go from that.
Reynolds'
Oh.
pistol.
the Christmas
Yeah.
DLC is so great. I love the Christmas DLC
Oh
because they upgrade the dubstep gun to play dubstep Christmas songs, and like
God.
and then like in the end they there's like you have to like lick the candy cane. If you can actually lick it enough, if you lick it for like 5 minutes straight, it'll actually go away. You get an achievement of like, why would you even do this?
That's a great question. That's a lot of time to spend on one candy cane.
All right. I want to say what I've been playing real quick, and then we'll get to Jared. Then we'll kind of move on to the headlines. The reason I brought this up is because I've been kind of diving deep into my 3DS again. I have a modded 3DS. It is great. I've been replaying Pokemon X, Bravely Default, and I just gotta say, the 3DS actually still holds up as a handheld system because like the user experience is like very nice. The games are great. Like I am a bit of a stand for Gen 6. I will admit that. But yeah, Jared, what have you been playing, sir?
I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, of course. I've been playing. Let's see what else. A lot of crap. I've been playing. Actually, I got this fantastic game called Warriors Legends of Troy, which is a video game that recounts the whole Trojan War. Like, when you look into the actual story, that movie with Brad Pitt lies. They left out so much crap.
And that's why no one will remember you.
Like the Amazons, as in the Wonder Woman Amazon, show up, and I'm like, where the hell were these people in the movie? This is way
Yeah.
better.
All right, so let's so Jared, get the thing ready.
I have
Let's dive into some headlines.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, that's hysteria.
All right, welcome to Headline Hysteria, where we cover all the topics that are important, just not important enough for a full thing. So first off, we have SAG is seemingly on strike again. Jared,
Video
can you put
game
some more
actors
detail into this?
time. So I found out about this today. Apparently, the video game voice actors are gonna go on strike this time, and this is about like it's basically boiling down to they don't want like the East Coast becoming too reliant on artificial intelligence, because conceivably they could take like Laura Bailey's voice and put her on any game at that point.
Yeah, this is just going to hasten that.
I mean, yeah, AI
Congratulations,
is a crazy tool, because okay, let me scroll, because it can make lots of people say lots of things. For example,
Hi, everybody. This is Zack Snyder. I'd like you all to check out this amazing comic called Screecher, made by the Every So Cool Phoenix Press. It's currently on Kickstarter, so give it a look if you want something to fill that void.
Yeah. dude,
that is
this-
AI.
No, this little whatever this little strike thing is. Yeah, they're done. The Film Actors Guild or whatever, they're all gone. Like Hollywood's done, dude. Like the AI has gotten now to the point where voice actors or actors in general, for the most part, are pretty replaceable.
I don't know. I like even like the best deep fakes are pretty easy to spot.
We don't know what the best deep fakes are, dude. We've only seen what the consumers have. We've never seen what the prosumers have. I mean, I guess I could still spot it when they did it to President Biden a couple of times, but like,
Oh no, we're not going there.
the techno too late. Anyways, the technology is there. The technology is there.
Jared, can you please read Dave's comment?
So the strike is basically going to be Troy Baker picketing by himself.
Yep,
And like maybe Jennifer Hale.
yeah, those two.
like,
Hey,
maybe
no
Laura
bashing on
Bailey.
Jennifer Hale. That woman's a national treasure.
I love Jennifer Hale, but she's every female character ever. That's
Yeah.
all.
No,
She's
no,
literally
every-
voices like 99% of the girl
Every
characters that I
female
like.
character is either Jennifer Hale or Laura Bailey.
And there's
as
nothing
Jonathan.
wrong with that.
Yep. And then Tara Strong and
Who
Nolan
said there was
North.
something
and like,
wrong?
You
Yeah.
complain about it.
no, there's like voice actors are like you could count them all in one hand. Like
All of the games behind me have her in them, and I love them.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love you, but we just want more voice actors. I even like Troy Baker. I think Troy Baker is a talented voice actor. I like his stuff.
that's the thing is like what the strike is going to do is give us more voice actors, and Troy Baker and Laura Bailey and like all these people. They're going to be just as useful as everybody else that's coming in. Congratulations, guys! You were at the top of the mountain and you walked off of it.
Yeah.
You lost your leverage. Sorry, but a strike, all that's doing is that's incentivizing the publishers, the studios, to be like, fine, we're just going to use AI or we'll bring in scabs.
Yeah, it does the direct opposite of what they're intending, because it's like, oh,
Yep.
what do we do if the people are gone? Well, I guess we have to use AI.
Yeah.
What else
Oh,
are
no.
you going to do, right? Like, at the very least, games going forward, I think are going to use AI more, even if they don't use it on, like, anything current. So they kind of screwed
Yeah.
themselves over by showing the liability, in my opinion.
Yep.
Mhm.
But, like, I guess the question is, like, how do you voice the opinion that, like, people should be the ones doing the voice, not AI, right?
Well, I know currently.
That's totally
as
for
far-
the customer.
And I know from like a legal standpoint, I know in the U.S. you can't copyright AI generated works, like AI assisted stuff. Because if you outline AI assisted stuff, literally every piece of art would be not copyrightable. Because by the very loose term of artificial intelligence, like literally just doing a gradient in a way could be considered AI art. Because it's art, like it's being generated by the computer algorithm. So,
Well, AI. There's generative or generative AI, which is what's covered in the law, where it basically states if you use derivative works, other people's works that are assisted by AI, that you cannot copyright. As far as like auto tune and stuff, which is a form of AI, like that's totally copyrightable.
yeah.
Or protected
So it's
under
like AI assisted stuff.
Yeah.
As far as GTA 6, I don't think it'll affect it too much.
No, DEI will.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
So before I actually have something special to share with everybody. Let me just get this down. So, do you guys like gingers?
Your Highness, the transmission we received. What is it they've sent us?
Gingers.
No.
Yep, that's right. We're doing it again. Ginger Cast 4, a new Ginger, is coming for you. It's going to be myself, Rose Eagle Rider, and Master of TDS. We're going to talk about all things Ginger, August 7th, 6 p.m. It's going to be great. It's a Wednesday. So, yes, we're doing a new Ginger Cast. Just wanted to quickly announce that for everybody. He's like, what?
Are you going to talk about gingers being erased from Hollywood?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the ginger side?
Side.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have touched upon that on the show.
Okay,
Have
I
you
will
guys-
watch if you talk about that.
Have you guys ever seen that video by I think her name is Maya? It's a rap video where they basically she's trying to like make this like I only watched this because of Bill Burr. He had an interview about it, who by the way is a ginger. But he was talking about the Maya video, and I had to watch it. He's like, "Oh, the video was terrible. It was just people being like redheaded people being rounded up and like thrown on the buses, and they were getting killed. It was like
heck?
this little redheaded kid running through a landmine field, and he blows up. And I don't think it had the effect it was supposed to have because I was laughing my ass off."
That's amazing. I would react the same way.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's like
Oh my god.
yeah, Mia or Maya Gingers.
I need to find that. That's great.
He's like, I was laughing the whole time. I don't think it was supposed to be funny though.
So, all right, one more thing, and then we're gonna get into the main topic here.
All right.
So Turn Samurai, most of the stuff has already been shipped. There's a few more I gotta ship because apparently the printer didn't send enough copies of the comics, so I gotta bridge that gap there. So by the end of August, all comics will be shipped. That is my Phoenix Press guarantee. Most of them have already been shipped. So now that Turn Samurai number 4 is shipped, we can talk about the next thing I got going. And check this out. This is the cover for Screecher number 3, A Talon Too Far.
Ooh.
Yep. This is coming out in October. But what I got coming out much sooner than that is Lost Kingdom, a fantasy novel set in space. So we're going to be launching that here on this channel a week from today. It's going to be great, and I love you all. All right, so does anyone feel the need for speed?
Oh yeah, I could go for some amphetamines right now.
I think of the video game Need for Speed when I hear that. So
Yeah.
you put me in a totally different mindset.
Do you feel like Underground, Payback, Heat, Most Wanted?
All of it. I love Underground. Underground 1 and 2. I'm not going to ruin this discussion, okay? You've already set me off in a different direction.
Yes. So what Melee doesn't know is that
This is what I call a target-rich environment.
What does that mean?
there's a rich number of targets. There's lots of them.
Who's the target in this conversation? What's going
Women!
Women to be picked up. How do you not know this?
Women
Yeah,
to sexually
Operation
harass. Women to sexually harass into sleeping with you. And so
That's-
20 years later, they
Yeah.
can do a claim and
Hey,
cancel you.
Come
Yeah,
on,
that's
come
the
on,
way
man.
it works.
No,
that's,
Melee.
that's the rule. I thought that was universal.
Melee, how could you resist being at a bar and a 4'2" guy comes up to you? Hey, baby.
Women love the dudes in the white uniforms.
Yes,
All right,
even
so
when
we're
they
gonna go
they
around.
make chocolate.
Oh my god.
We're gonna go around and talk about like what Top Gun means to us and like what we think about it. Melee, you first.
He puts me first. Oh no. I love this
Oh,
movie.
yes.
This is the one movie that you and I agree on, Phoenix. So this is a beautiful day. Everyone should celebrate. Go, get an ice cream to celebrate today. Phoenix Press and I agree. This is a fantastic film. This is like one of those really great like popcorn flicks you turn on when you just want like some freedom in your life. You just want to feel like good about something. That soundtrack. Oh my god.
Oh my yes,
I
I've owned the
love that
soundtrack on many
soundtrack.
occasions. Oh
It's
wait.
beautiful.
Um, You keep talking. I gotta go grab
I waited
something.
and I stopped waiting. Okay, anyways, I love the soundtrack. It's a wonderful soundtrack. You can't go wrong with Maverick. He's just like the best character. You're just rooting for him the entire time. The thing I found with this film, though, like thinking it over again, is like there's not a lot to dive deep into, which isn't an insult to the film. It's just that
I mean,
it's
there is some of it. There is some of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get into like if it's a government psyop or something, maybe. But like in terms of the actual film, there's
I
not a
don't
lot to,
own
like,
many records, but
Can you play
I've got
that though?
yeah.
You're so old.
You've got the
Hey,
record
records
player
are
and
back,
everything.
brother.
Wait, does
Are
that
they?
one have?
Oh yeah, I'm with Melee. Are they?
I don't know.
Me neither.
Just love it. Turntables.
I mean,
finally.
considering that you can buy records at Walmart, not CDs.
You can buy a lot of things at Walmart.
Yeah, have you seen Walmart? Jesus.
Keely.
Goose, you're such a dickhead. Whose butt did you kiss to get in here, huh?
Well, the list is long but distinguished.
Yeah, well, so's my Johnson.
Sorry, Keely, you gave me the perfect opportunity to play that clip.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
Hey, does that have Ken's Street Fighter 2 stage theme on it?
Are you a
A
Rex
Mighty-
Viper
Oh,
fan,
oh,
sir?
you
Is
mean
that
Mighty
what's going
Wings.
on?
Oh, yes. This does have
Mighty
Mighty
Wings.
Wings by Cheap Trick.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
Cheap Trick.
Yes, man.
Yeah,
Did you know? Did you know that? Did you know that? That Ken's
What?
theme is basically Mighty Wings from Top Gun.
I know
Yeah, it
that
should've been
because
Giles.
I've watched James Rolfe and he does Rex Viper, and that was like the first mix he did, and it was not a good mix by him.
No.
But that's
yeah,
how I
this-
discovered that.
Yeah, this soundtrack is honestly just amazing. It's like banger after banger. Danger Zone is like, oh god.
From start to finish, I think the sexy scene is the only one where I'm like, is this a little too
Take
cheesy?
my breath away.
It's just a little bit too cheesy, but I think it would have fit in well at the time.
Well,
But
the
it's
thing
just
is, I feel
slightly
like
too
Top
cheesy.
Gun is probably one of the few movies where like they do like a tasteful sex scene, because it's more like
It's
They-
creepy
they-
though.
they play the
Are you
emotion.
calling it a tasteful sex scene? Is such a meme.
It's
That's
between
the
a
only
student
part of
and
the
a
film that's
teacher,
silly.
dude.
I wasn't even thinking
Mary
about
Kay
that.
Letourneau.
It was just like the amount of tonguing that happens through that whole
Yeah, I'm
scene.
like,
It's just, like
nothing about this is tasteful. Well,
So-
I guess if Nick is going for a pun, of course, involving a lot of tongue, yeah, it involves a lot of tasting. But, yeah,
tasteful.
there you go. There you go.
It's tasteful. It's tasteful if Charlie took
The
a
taste
shower.
buds are exploding.
Yeah, well, their tongues are
It's
like
tasteful.
dueling each
It's
other.
tasteful if Charlie.
They're
took
having a
shower.
tongue
having a-
war.
literally
1, 2,
like
3,
a
4.
thumb
I
war.
declare a tongue
Exactly.
war.
No, dude, they should replace the "Take My Breath Away" with the "Duel of the Fates" from Star Wars.
Yes. I'm in. You've sold
I
me on
wonder
this.
if that.
Do I have to make that edit now? Do I really have to?
And
Yes,
then
you
as
do.
and then when it ends at the very end, it fades to black, and then Jar Jar pops on the screen.
Exactly. Neo, to answer you, I did watch Hot Shots last night, and the sex scene that they did in that one was a million times more hilarious and great.
The olive.
Yes. I actually really liked Hot Shots. I'm a big Airplane fan, so I was like, this is totally Airplane comedy. And then I'm like, oh, it's the same writer. James let me know. It's like, this is great.
Well, the thing about this movie is it's very influential. Like, it impacted a lot of people. Like, I remember TV shows were referencing it like 10 years after it came out. Like, I remember
Oh, yeah.
watching like old, like there was like an Air Force, like a JAG type show from like the late 90s, early 2000s. Because my dad was a big JAG fan, and when he made me watch it with him and whatnot. And like they were making Top Gun references.
I mean, Top Gun is a movement. It's inspired a lot of video games as well. Ace Combat. I can't remember.
I love it.
Top
Project,
Gun.
Project Wingman. Is that the new? That's the
There's
Xbox game or whatever?
Overg Fighters, I think, which I screwed around with that game. You know, it's kind of funny. Whenever I play those fighter jet games, I would take off on the taxiway because I was too impatient. Because in my defense, I could only ever get on the taxiway. But the funny thing about Overg Fighters is that if you went on the grass, your pilot would eject.
Jared, you're defending before we understand why.
Because here's why. I wasn't good enough to taxi all the way to the runway, so at a certain point, I got in the taxi when I was like, good enough, floor it!
So who remembers Top Gun Fire at Will?
I never played this myself, but I know
look at
of
that
it.
stone tablet.
Oh god, shut the F up, dude. And of course, my internet's not cooperating.
Rip.
You know, I got to do something here. I still can't.
Yeah, they
believe it.
actually got the guy.
I'm going to
for
give you your
cutscenes.
dream shot. We're going to.
You can tell he's like 10 years older and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing this game back when I was a kid. Me and my dad would play it. It was actually a pretty fun
Flex
game.
is a good instructor, so listen up.
But this was for the place.
know their stuff. Everything's checked.
Oh god, I think this
Oh,
is the
so
PC version.
old!
This is
That's
the PC
like in
version.
Top Gun 2, when they get in the Tomcat and Goose is like, oh my gosh, this thing is so old. Like Nick.
Sorry, I think that was a PC. PS era ago. That is true, Keely. That is true.
Oh,
So-
that intro music.
I know Melee. Yeah, we had the same thing.
Stop.
But yeah, look at this.
Got a number, man.
This is my childhood right here.
Oh, wow. That's so janky.
That's my childhood. Oh, speaking of air flight games, did you ever play the Independence Day game for PS1?
No.
I have.
I didn't know that
Never
existed.
played it.
Yeah, that's also like air flight game.
Oh, you know what? We're talking about air flight stuff. I actually have the Thrustmaster Top Gun flight stick.
Oh, hell yeah.
I can show you guys that.
Please do.
Well, I'll wait until you're done your videos. I don't want to steal your thunder here.
Oh god.
How dare you
Yeah.
skip the PS1 intro music again? That's literally just the level from Star Fox 64. Yeah. Okay, all is forgiven. We're good now.
Alright. The thing that I remember is in the canyon, if you went to a certain place, you could actually unlock an A-10 Warthog, essentially giving you an extra life in this level.
Oh, that A-10 Warthog. That is a sexy-ass plane.
Brrr!
Tank busters.
Yes, it did.
So yeah, Melee, this is another game you should probably check out.
Blah, 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 blah.
I would play this. This looks fun.
Good luck.
Where did
Yeah,
you learn to
exactly.
fly? Where did you learn to fly?
Oh,
Where
God.
did you learn to fly?
That 3DO piece of crap.
No.
All right, Melee, you're up.
All right. Yeah, I got a flight stick from Top Gun.
Mm.
The official Thrustmaster. Look at that beautiful thing. And yeah, it's got this beautiful art on the side. I don't think the guy used this at all. I found this at like a thrift store.
Oh wow.
And this was like, yeah, completely just like great condition. The box is like in fantastic shape.
Jared, read this, please.
Yeah, that is 100% accurate. Fun fact, the minigun is called a minigun because it's literally a small version of that.
Yeah.
That's too much
God,
intelligence
those
for
things
me.
are so loud, too. You ever heard a Warhog fly by?
No, I don't think I ever have, but I've heard people have told me.
Yeah, I lived near Pendleton when I was out in San Diego.
Mhm.
And when those things flew, like
Oh,
they
God.
took off and the whole ground would shake. And then when it would fly over, it was just.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Now imagine that 1,000 times louder.
Now imagine that
That's
coming
the
out of
difference.
you.
Insane.
That is the sound of freedom right there.
America.
Yeah, that machine gun, that wasn't the machine gun sound. That was the sound of my bowels being evacuated.
Yeah. Actually, that sound is Thomas Jefferson singing the Star Spangled Banner 80 times.
See, that's the people seeing that coming after them.
Yeah.
I just love it. I just love.
Sounds like my phone going off. Congress tried so many times to kill that plane, but it keeps coming back.
Just because it's just so good at its
Badass.
job.
So good.
Yeah, that is the best air to ground attack. Like
You do
without-
not
without
want to be on the
bomb.
ground when that thing's hunting you. Oh God. You ain't
Yeah, it's like-
escaping.
Yeah, it's like heavily armored. It's like. I love how we're supposed to be talking about Top Gun, but we're just talking about the best
This
plane
works.
ever.
We're talking about planes. Shut up.
This is it works. What do you mean?
Oh,
The movie's
God.
about planes.
We're talking about airplanes.
They're gonna drop a few tons of freedom on children.
Exactly.
I'm gonna free the shit out of them.
See,
Damn.
see, for the good guys, the sound of the A10 is every Top Gun conversation.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that. Just they don't even need bombs. They just do it up with the minigun.
They just go.
Yeah.
I've actually been actually really up close to an A10. Let me dig up a picture for you to give you a size comparison. For the A10. One second, while playing.
God, how would you even take one of those things out? I don't think a wire guided like a RPG or anything would even touch that.
Yeah.
Maybe a lucky shot with a tank, but like a surface to air missile.
That would
Possibly.
be so difficult, though. Are you kidding me? From a tank?
Yeah, you'd have to be like, well, the Abrams have all of that wire like the weird like satellite and telemetry stuff where they could actually anticipate where the plane was going and fire at that exact moment.
Oh, yeah, that's
Like-
true. Yeah, okay.
Like without all that weird computerized shit, yeah, the tank is pretty worthless.
But
So
anyway,
just knock
back,
out a satellite.
back to Top Gun.
Yeah.
That was pretty much Top Gun talk.
We just started
come
talking
on.
about
Yeah.
close air support.
Oh God.
But I guess I'll go next.
All right.
I'm a big nerd about all things military, so obviously it's like Top Gun is required viewing along with like Active Valor, Lone Survivor, all those movies which are fan freaking tastic. And this one is pretty much accurate to how Navy guys talk to each other. So there you go. This also contributed to the stereotype that they say that like SEALs and other Navy guys are like have their standard issue hair gels. They always have slicked backed hair.
There's something about
Oh, and Nick, you and I know this. This is actually a prequel to Green Lantern because everyone knows that Maverick is secretly Hal Jordan from Green Lantern. It's just what happens
God.
is at the end of Top Gun 2, he goes through a portal, turns into Ryan Reynolds, and becomes Hal Jordan.
She grows about 2 feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Grows about.
I learn something new every time I'm here.
You know I have to merge all my universe together.
I do.
All right. Wait. Huh.
I'll show my attack throttle while you're looking at something there, Phoenix. I also have the attack throttle with my Top Gun stick, and I love this
Oh,
thing too.
damn.
It's so cool. Yeah.
That is so cool.
I need to like hook these up to an old computer and just see how they feel, you know?
I love Coral. Just got here. We talked about oily, sweaty volleyball.
What is with the obsession over the volleyball
That's the
scene,
most
everyone?
iconic scene in the
What is
movie, Melee. It's the most iconic scene
I
in the
mean,
movie.
There's this thing about like considering Top Gun like it's like gay or whatever.
That was some of the best flying I've seen yet. Right up to the part where you got killed. You never leave your wingman.
Okay, no, it's not gay. It's so gay it's
It's so
straight.
gay.
And then if you have a problem with it, you're the gay one. That's
I mean,
that's
I
where
mean,
it's
You're
at.
just a homophobe.
There's literally a guy who screams, "I want some butts, and I want them now!"
Very
He didn't specify which gender.
very straight men hanging out, playing some ball. I don't see the problem.
Playing with their balls. They're
They're
playing
all
with
like
their
in
balls.
But
My
here's
favorite
the
part was
thing,
you're all
though.
permaflex.
I heard stories that, yeah, this is also accurate to like in the military and basic training, you're going to see balls. It's like unavoidable. So, because it's like in the shower, you only have 5 minutes. You got to get
Oh
in,
my
wash,
god,
and get
Melee's
out.
cringing so bad right now.
I'm just so like.
It's basic training.
What conversations are we in where it's like, yeah, I was
We're
in the
talking
military.
about the Navy.
Yeah, you see a lot
Yeah,
of balls.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So
I like
you
to
wanna
go
know
out to sea with a bunch of lonely men.
Okay, changing the topic. You want to know one thing I noticed about
Why
this
are you
movie?
changing the topic? Are you afraid of being called gay in this situation?
That's silence.
It's
That's
the
silence. That's
straight
silence.
suit. I'm just defending the oily
need
volleyball
the
and
Jerry
saying
Seinfeld.
it's straight. That's it.
I mean, you're a lady.
Anything
So
wrong with
it's
that?
okay for you to like oily men doing volleyball. It's okay. You're a woman.
Look at
For
him.
the record, my favorite volleyball scene is in Dead or Alive, okay? In the movie.
Yes,
That
Fair
is
enough.
an amazing
By the way, you know what's
scene.
kind of funny?
Very
You notice
impressive.
that in Top Gun 2, when they had the volleyball scene, they always have one woman.
Mm.
So it's like, okay, it's not as gay as the last one. We have a woman here.
But
There's like
here's
a
the
thermometer on the side of the screen with like
Yes,
the gauge.
exactly.
Here's
Remember
okay.
Officer
Okay.
Gator?
I'm
They're
desperately
basically waving down
trying
on
to
the
change the
screen.
topic right now.
The
All right.
encounter was a victory, but I think that we've shown it as an example of what not to.
That's what she said.
So here's the thing. You notice how like those big ass glasses kind of came back in style during like 2010s?
Everything makes a comeback, like every 30 years. It's like we're repeating history constantly.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like that's what I love about it. The volleyball scene is literally called "Playing with the Boys."
Exactly.
Stop.
That's extremely straight.
But it's only boys playing.
Did,
You wanna
did
come in
Mr.
my
Be-
cockpit?
did Mr. Beast, his former friend, write that song?
What does that have to do with this? What?
I love how now the conversation has gone to, is the volleyball scene gay or not?
It's so gay.
Well, what is the Phoenix? What is the first thing you messaged me about? Us talking about this movie.
And that would have been the title if Jared had not talked me out of it.
Wait, why'd you talk him out of it? No, what?
On YouTube, you don't want to make gay jokes. Trust me.
Oh, okay.
But in the Navy,
You can sail the 17.
I mean only in the Navy.
Oh, fun fact.
Only
So-
in the Navy are the lower enlisted called seamen.
Well, fun fact, in the Navy SEALs, half the teams are stationed in California, and those halves have their own swimsuit calendar.
Ooh.
Very straight.
So it's just guys in swimsuits with machine guns.
That's not a machine gun. That's a Gatling gun.
It's not a machine gun. It's a mini gun.
Yeah, that's a pistol.
It
It was
shoots-
sold that day.
It's not.
It
It's not a clip. It's a magazine.
It shoots
Yeah.
bubbles. It's a super soaker.
I mean, I'm sure the ladies who buy it gets super soaked.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
I love Maylee's reaction. She's like, "What the fuck?"
In my
I'm
defense,
subjected to a lot of things on
this is
show.
Nick's.
You were in a 4G inverted dive with a MiG-28.
Yes, ma'am.
And then what he did is he went to the future and fought aliens in a mech suit with Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
In
You could
what
say he
movie?
lived, died, and
Edge of
repeated that whole
Tomorrow.
process.
Oh,
He was on the edge
Yeah.
of tomorrow.
That was a great
Oh
film.
god.
That was such a good
It was.
movie.
Technically a comic book movie. Technically.
Technically a video game movie, because that's pretty much the video game experience right there.
Technically,
Yeah,
it's
didn't they
a
change
video
the
game
title?
movie, a comic book movie, and an anime movie.
All
Yeah.
in one, and a good anime movie. That's very rare.
Yeah. That, and I love Emily Blunt when she said, you know, anytime I see a script and it says strong woman in it, I instantly roll my eyes.
Yeah. yeah.
based.
And what's funny
Yeah.
is Emily Blunt's character is probably one of the strongest women
Yeah.
ever depicted
She's
on
a
cinema.
badass
Like
in that.
literally, that push-up she does is iconic.
Yeah. And that's, I think that's what it was, is they took some, you know, like Ellen Ripley and all these other like really, you know, tough female leads. Like they lost track of like
Don't
why
forget
they were
Jennifer
so
Lawrence. Don't forget the first
Yeah.
female actress.
Yeah, the first
Yeah, that's
female
true.
action movie star.
great. But
Or
like
Brie Larson.
oh god.
I mean, to be fair, Brie Larson entered Hollywood because of Jennifer Lawrence.
That's right.
She was
so did
inspired.
Sigourney Weaver.
So did Sigourney. Yeah, so Sigourney Weaver. You can see what happens. That Jennifer Lawrence had a time machine. She went back in time and inspired Ellen Ripley's character.
Man.
Minority Report, Sunshine on Rainbow. Yeah, that's true. After this, he left the Navy and joined the Minority Report. I could link all the Tom Cruise movies together.
Okay, that's actually a good idea for an episode one day.
Yeah, 6 degrees of
one more.
Tom Cruise.
Little known fact: Mission Impossible is a prequel to this.
And then after he retired, he decided to become a hitman.
Oh,
yes, exactly.
Collateral. Which
Where does Eyes Wide Shut fit in all of this? I don't know if I want to ask.
I've never seen
that's,
that.
That's a documentary. That's not a film.
Exactly.
I do find it kind of suspicious that when Stanley Kubrick made a movie about like Hollywood sex cults, that's the movie where he suddenly died.
And they took out a few minutes of that film too.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the few films I am like obsessed with. I love Eyes Wide Shut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's.
Are you reading in silence? My goodness, some of my friends in the Navy told me that if 100 sailors are stationed on a submarine, then it's coming back up with 50 couples, regardless of gender or if they have someone waiting at home.
And now you know why we read it in silence, Bailey.
Well, that's fine. I'm the one that took the bullet for that.
No, I have a few friends that are nukes or engineers on subs, and it's not that bad, but they're like, yeah, there's some weird shit that goes on out in the middle of the when it's all silence and everything.
Like, I mean, not even in the middle of the ocean, but like 30 feet under the sea, like you're in a
30 feet, more like 300 feet, sir.
Yeah. When you're 300 feet below the surface,
distance properly, old man.
When you're 300 feet under the water in a tin can for months on end.
Yeah, they had all sorts of weird stuff. Like some of the stories this dude was telling me during break time, because I was working for the press, and I was like, dude, why do you know that? He's like, because when you're in the submarine and you're that close to a bunch of dudes, nobody has secrets. Like, but I could have gone my whole life. Like, I'm not in a submarine. I don't need to hear this.
It's like you know, like when you're in a sub, you know who's Jewish and who is not.
Well, he had this one.
They don't have to tell you. You'll know.
Yeah.
Look at Melee.
I like how slowly everyone is figuring out what I'm saying.
I was like, oh, okay.
Chris, you get the joke I'm saying.
Yes, yeah. Well, he was saying there's this one guy that had IBS or flatulent issues, and they sealed him in a bulkhead, like because they're down there, and this guy's like shitting himself, and he's like, when you're that deep down, yeah, he's in his own.
Talk about blowing it out your ass.
No, he's like, you know how people like get Dutch ovens? Well, we call this one. How can I say it without getting the channel in trouble?
Oh God!
He called it a Dutch concentration camp.
Oh my gosh!
I've heard of hot boxing. But it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. Another one was like that. They were literally doing a dick measuring contest, and there was this one guy that was like super huge, and he's like, "Wow, black people really are like the black stereotype really is true."
Are you telling me that a bunch of men hang out in a submarine and measure their dicks together?
Yes!
Yeah.
I mean,
what else are you gonna do under the sea?
They whip it
That's
back
not
and
the
forth.
first thought that comes to my head. Oh, let's all get the rulers. Did everyone bring their ruler with them today? Let's.
Yeah, you have a standard.
But here's
you
the question.
use what you have. You take a string and go. This is roughly the
Did they measure it?
That guy is 7 dicks tall.
No. Wait, here's the question though. Did they measure it hanging or did they measure it straight?
Well, that he said the one guy that had the huge dick. He's like, when it got hard, it didn't really do much. It just stayed the
same. Jared, read the comment.
Oh,
read the comment.
That's the
Top
perfect
Gun.
name, Dave. That's
This
perfect.
is,
Oh
this
my
is
god!
why.
What the?
This
fuck
is why the
This
Navy
is
gets
what-
all that
this-
crap, dude.
You know, I noticed this is what talking about the volleyball scene inevitably turns into.
Yep. I'm going to take you to a game ball.
I mean, compared to this, the volleyball scene is the most straight thing on earth. So
Oh god! Oh god! Oh god!
There's a saying in the military: "It's not gay if you're deployed."
Oh! That sounds like a
Also, isn't
Chris
there,
got
isn't
it.
there
Chris
such a-
got it.
Isn't there such a thing as like a deployed 10 or whatever?
Yeah, you know why? Because women.
Here,
I mean-
explain it.
Okay, the way it works in the military is that obviously there's no access to like makeup overseas. So the way the deployed system works is that you add a couple of like rankings for like a woman that would normally be like a 5 in the US is like a 6 or a 7 deployed because you don't have that many options.
No. Don't have
That's the
any
military
options.
for you.
Yeah.
There's Keely brings up a good point. The volleyball scene was for the women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always wondering why my sister liked the movie more than me.
That's why
I
women
mean-
like Thor. Be honest.
Jared, you're missing the biggest thing. Do you really think Aquaman made $1 billion because it was a good movie?
It made billion because it's China. We all know that.
No,
It
it's that
made $1
one
billion.
shot of Momoa in the shirtless in the ocean. That was it.
what is
There
the
was a bunch
China
of shots
theory
of-
on this
There's
movie?
a bunch
What?
of scenes I'm shirtless.
There's like 6 theories that were just thrust upon me at once here. Why do you think this
Thrust
movie
upon
made
you?
money?
They were thrust upon you.
Okay, what? I'm sorry, I've got a
God.
Thrustmaster next to
Yeah.
me. That's all I can think about. Why do you
Sorry,
think
my
this
mind is like deep in the gutter. So.
When is it ever not in the gutter,
It's the
Nick?
volleyball scene that did it to you. We know. Why do you think China was the reason why Aquaman made all its money?
Because that's the excuse.
That's
Well, that's
the
where-
excuse,
No, I'm
because
genuinely
China
just trying to
always
understand.
like China always bumps up the returns for a movie.
Yeah. Well, that's
I mean, not so
what it
much
is, is
anymore.
Hollywood
I
stopped
think
making
we're kind of
movies
moving
for
away from
America.
China. Yeah, I think
Well,
we're moving
well, now
away
we
from
are.
China.
But
This is
about
so
15 years
interesting.
ago, China was like the big frontier, because I know in video games, when I was working in there, it was, why should we make a video game for an audience of like 100 million when we can make a video game for an audience of 1 billion? You know, and that's
Okay, by numbers. Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, it's the overpopulation of China, weaponized. Like that's why all those like. Have you ever seen the Chinese version of Iron Man?
No, I hate the
No.
MCU slop. Let me tell you.
Oh,
well, all the
that's
MCU
sad.
films were
Nick,
remade.
can I tell the story about he who must not be named, and he was trying to create another Iron character? Nick knows what I'm
Yeah,
talking
go
Scared
about.
ahead.
where this is going.
So-
Sure.
In 2015, Marvel launched all new, all different Marvel. It was intended to bring in a new audience to Marvel. That's why you get like Kamala Khan and Sam Wilson becoming Captain America. So they wanted to replace Iron Man. So yes, thank you, Tavia. So
I
what
know
they
what the
did
story is.
yes, they replaced her with someone named Riri Williams.
Riri!
So here's the funny thing: her code name is Ironheart. Now, the problem with that, which I don't think the writer of the comic knew, but but Ironheart is the name of the Japanese adult parody of Iron Man.
Oh my god, there's so
You
much
didn't
lore
know
here.
that.
This is
Well,
crazy.
yeah, the MCU, like let's just say that people that sail the high seas occasionally will get their hands on the not intended for American audiences version of the MCU films. And there's like 10, 15, 20 minutes added to these films. And the one that really blew my mind was Iron Man 3, where they had a whole scene with China explaining how American doctors weren't good enough to remove the or fix Tony Stark's heart, but the Chinese doctors were.
Whoa,
and-
I didn't know any of this. What?
Yeah,
This is
and if you
crazy.
watch the credits for the American version, and like you'll see like they do these like little character montages of all the like the main characters. They'll do like a few of the like cut scenes or whatever showing the characters, and they're like, and this is Li Bingbing or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that was the like I was watching with a friend. He's like, who the hell is Li Bingbing? I did not see this bitch in this whole movie. That chick is hot. And I'm like, Dude, she was there at the doctor scene when
She
when
saved
they were
Hawkeye.
fixing his heart. When she was fixing his heart or whatever, and he goes, "That never happened." So I had to show him the Chinese version, and it
Remember
happens to be in a lot of films.
Remember in
That's
Age
so
of Ultron where they were pandering to South Korea for some reason? Like they had that South Korean woman as like a character in the movie who was like really important to the plot and then never appeared again.
Yeah.
And like a good portion of the movie took place in South Korea.
Yeah, they don't make movies or they didn't at the time make movies for an American audience, and like the Chinese audience or the Southeast Asian audiences tend to like stupid movies with explosions. So things like Fast and Furious or the MCU or whatever,
Transformers.
Anything Michael Bay like makes gangbusters or made gangbusters over in China. Until
That's why
the Orange Man
Transformers
pissed them off.
4 had like the second half of the movie was basically pro-China, and the only reason they made the fan film sequel to Pacific Rim was because Pacific Rim did really well in China, and that's why Pacific Rim 2 was basically
Uprising.
a pro-China movie.
Yeah,
I
it didn't even
not
have subtitles.
know there was a sequel. What?
Yeah,
I liked the first Pacific Rim.
Uprising. It's called Pacific Rim Uprising. It's better than the first one.
Okay, I'm writing this down.
And there's no subtitles. like they're all like they blast out in Mandarin, and I'm like, raising my head. Can you share to the class what these people are saying? Like, what the hell? Like,
Also, yes, Axel Braun's versions are his costumes are pretty.
All right.
Millie, do you know about who Axel Braun is?
No.
Oh, you're gonna love this.
We're doing this. We're doing this.
Real quick, he also
Jared, you say it while I look it up.
I assume, Melee, you've seen the new Superman suit, right?
Yes, I have.
So he commented on this, and he basically tweeted Axel Braun and said, "Okay, so last year I ended my career in the adult film industry as someone that creates superhero parody costumes that are better than what Hollywood puts out. They are. We've seen pictures." And he goes, "I wish I would have stayed in there long enough to tell James Gunn how to basically to tell him how to make a good Superman suit instead of this floppy mess."
Like these are actually legit pretty good.
They did
look at his Wonder
Be
Woman.
careful on the image search, Nick. We're on YouTube. Be careful on the image search.
All right.
So this is a triple X creator. Is that what I'm getting from this?
Yeah, he makes the costumes.
How do I
Well,
turn
we
on
always
Safe Search?
know that the
Just
triple
don't
X
search
industry
it. I'm
tries to do
saying take
better.
it down now.
Yeah.
Parody is best. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But
I have
yes,
to go when you guys were talking about Iron Man. I have to go back and watch the first one. I like Robert
First
Downey
one's
Jr.
great.
But I think I just watched it at a time where I was already sick of all the other MCU films, so I might even like the first few ones that they came out with. But I
Phase
was just so
4 is
sick of it.
legit good. Phase 4 is good.
Phase 4 is good?
You mean stage 4?
Wait. Did he just say Phase 4 is
He just
Phase
I
1
say
is
like
actually
two
really good.
words on this show, and everyone
Nick.
goes up in arms.
No, it wasn't you, Melee. It was this old
No, I
fart.
know. I just even saying a topic, it's like what?
Watch it,
I love
Jared.
it. I love it. Okay, anyways. Top Gun's a great movie. I saw a comment in chat that's actually interesting because this also crossed my mind. I really love Maverick, and I'm always like debating if I like Maverick more than the original.
They're kind of very different movies. Maverick is a great
I
movie.
think they're very similar.
yeah. I like
Well,
Maverick.
in
a lot more,
terms
too.
of well, Maverick is basically the like all these movies that try to do 30 years later. They're old now. Next generation. They all fucking suck. Maverick is really the only movie that actually got it right. Because the problem is with a lot of these movies, when you have like the old established character, they always make the old established character weaker, feeble. Maverick is still just as good as he was back then, maybe even better. But he's also older, like he's also wiser. One of my favorite lines from Top Gun Maverick was, "Leaving your wingman. Where have I seen that before?" Like this is a Maverick. He's still Maverick, but he's learned from a lot of his mistakes. And I think that's really why Maverick worked, is because he's still Maverick, just 30 years older.
Well, it's so the story of the first one is him proving his value to the Navy Top Gun thing. Basically, they're like, you're a gifted and talented student at this. Prove to us why you're in this special Top Gun program. The sequel is prove to us why you should retire, or why did you not advance to like command or management, essentially. You should be warming a desk. Why are you still doing this? Do you still have it? So he's still proving to these people that, he deserves to be in the cockpit and everything. And I think when the film ends or whatever, he goes from being the student trying to prove himself to being the teacher or the veteran trying to prove that he still got it.
I mean, I have
that's why I love the sequel better.
I have a different interpretation because Maverick always had the talent. And everybody recognized he has a talent because if you watch the movie, he's like, "You're a good pilot. You're a good pilot." The thing that Maverick needs to learn is teamwork. Is don't leave your wingman. Is you're a good pilot, Mav. And this is why I love the movie, because while Iceman is portrayed as the villain, he's actually kind of right.
It's not your flying. It's your attitude. The enemy's dangerous. But right now, you're worse than the enemy. You're dangerous and foolish. You may not like the guys flying with you. They may not like you. Well, whose side are you on?
Yeah, because the number one thing that you don't want to be in a situation where people's lives are in your hands is not a team player. And Maverick is a showboater that's trying to take all the glory for
He's
himself.
a liability.
And all Iceman is saying is, dude, stop trying to screw us because you want all the glory.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant when I said he had to prove himself. It wasn't that his talents were in question. It was that he wasn't a team player, and he needed to prove that he was like he was like worthy of being in the Top Gun Academy or program or whatever. And part of that is working as a team. Just because you're awesome as a basketball player, you can't carry the whole team by yourself. I mean, maybe Michael Jordan
Tell that
did,
to LeBron or Kobe, but
yeah, but they can't though. Like, yeah, they showboat and they do all that stuff, but guess what? They're not the ones getting the ball to them. Somebody else is getting them the ball to get that shot. But yeah, and I think that's what the sequel continued with, which was, like you said, he learned the whole teamwork stuff. But now the new kind of medal that he has to prove is that he didn't want to basically he was having like a midlife crisis. He didn't want to admit that he was getting older.
Yes. He was getting older, but also he had to become a father figure.
Yeah,
because
he had to accept that.
He's a team player, but he's not a leader. I think that's the thing. Like Maverick can be a part of a team. But I think the sequel is about him being a leader.
Yeah, it was accepting,
not just a leader to the team, but also a father figure to Rooster. Because that's all that Rooster wants, is he wants Maverick to be the father figure after Goose died. Like his mother's dead. He's an orphan. The only person that Rooster has is Maverick. And yeah. But also, I do agree with Adrian Taylor.
Maverick gets his friend killed.
Yep, being a hotshot, he gets Goose killed.
I think with that one, I think it's a little like he was playing by the books. He got caught into Iceman's jet wash. That one really not necessarily was his fault.
I like the Hot Shots parody of that scene where just like everything possible. We're buying a house and we got these kids and we're having a great life. And
I'm a week from retirement.
Yeah. Can you sign these life insurance papers? Oh, the pen's not working, sweetie. That's weird.
I'm Marcel. I really. Oh, we're pregnant with our 9th child.
Oh my God. And then when the whole thing happens, the ambulance is the thing that does it pretty much. Like.
Yeah, Tevye, Meg Ryan's character. Yeah, Meg Ryan is in this movie. Like, that's gonna surprise me. Like, Meg Ryan, because she was huge in like the late 80s, early 90s. Like, this is one of her earlier roles. And she's kind of in that little portion of that movie. It's really crazy. like how we all went silent.
I'm just letting you run your show, bro. I can talk forever.
But yeah, like this movie kind of has like an evergreen quality to it because, yes, it is very much an 80s movie, but it also it's kind of like on a big, like the themes are universal. Like anyone could watch it. We could be watching this. People could be watching this in the year 2100 and still get something out of this movie.
Yeah, it's something that's a timeless classic to me. Like I said, it's a really good popcorn film. I love both Top Gun films.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the original Top Gun in theater, but that must have been an amazing experience for those who got to. But getting to watch Maverick in theater was just, it was such a good experience.
Nice. It was good.
Yeah, so, and I like the comparisons with Cobra Kai as well that were said in chat. Like, I think I haven't caught up with all of Cobra Kai, but I watched
Cobra Kai is a prequel. It's a sequel to Top Gun confirmed. Melee just confirmed it.
What? How? Who's related in both of them? What?
But you don't know. Here's the thing: we never see all those kids' parents.
Actually, Top Gun doesn't exist in Cobra Kai universe. The only thing that exists is Iron Eagle.
Hey, there you go. No, but I'm serious. We never see any of those kids' parents, except for Sam and Robbie. So
and Miguel's parents.
Know,
and actually, we
know,
do see Eli's mother.
I mean, there's only two options on who these kids' parents are. Either they're all the Top Gun people, or this is secretly a training for Batman's Robins. I wouldn't be surprised.
Jared,
I just need like a video one day from you, and I want to see the big like It's Always Sunny chart, and I just want a breakdown, and I will study that thing, and I will come back on the show and we'll discuss it.
What are you smoking, and where can I get some?
Oh, it's classified. You wouldn't know.
Where did you see this?
That's classified.
It's what?
It's classified. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Okay, so Nick, I feel like I have to explain this. When I said smile for the birdie, that's a reference to when Maverick was upside down on the Russian plane. He gave him the finger, and then he took a picture of him. And you didn't know it!
Well, let me keep up foreign relations.
Well, of course. No, all it is Nick's elderly brain.
Oh, God. But yeah, I think the love interest stuff is played pretty well. It's a pretty small subplot, but I think it does do a pretty good job of like with Maverick. The other thing about Maverick is he's kind of chasing his father's ghost, because like like they have like that little backstory of like his father, behind enemy lines. I don't know what it is. Like Tom Skerritt just has like the classic 80s dad look or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, this film is one of those films that you watch more for the action of the flights than me even analyzing like any of the subplots. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just like the plots are there, but to me, it's just all about the action near the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they're like this. Sometimes this movie has like the subtlety of a brick, when like they're rescuing Goose and Maverick, and the rescuer says, "You gotta let him go, sir." It's like very subtle movie, very subtle. Like I'm sure the writer thought they're like, "Ooh, I'm so smart putting this line in there." Like, no, that subtext is about as obvious as can be.
Wait, are we still talking about the gay stuff?
Oh my God!
I was reading Dave's comment. Dave's comment's very interesting.
I just love how random that was. Hey, there you go. Dave's got it.
Well,
I love this.
Some people brought it up earlier in the comments, but I gotta bring up Tron Legacy as another one of those like 30 years later movies. Father and like one of my favorite exchanges from Tron Legacy is when Clue is talking to Kevin Flynn. He's like, "Why did you do all this?" he just looks at him and says, "He's my son."
Tron Legacy to me is another one of those movies where it's all like about the flash of it, not really about the story.
Yeah.
All
Are you
right,
kidding? Well, how's that a controversial opinion?
You've disrespected my Tron Legacy.
I don't have an issue with Tron Legacy, but it's like how
except for the clear
how much
CGI.
How much can you talk
You
about
do
in Tron
realize
Legacy?
that was the first time they were doing something that to that.
It doesn't mean I've seen it done way better.
Yeah, 5 years later.
No, from that
Tron
time
Legacy
period.
is a great film. I don't want to be marked down as somebody who doesn't like Tron Legacy. I'm just saying for me, it's a very flashy film, and I like it for that. It's a very visually appealing film.
I mean, some
But-
people have called it like a 2-hour-long Daft Punk music video, and I accept that interpretation.
And I love
Punk
it
is
for
in
that.
the movie, of course.
But this is another film I would never like deep dive and like think emotionally about.
Yeah.
It's like this is just nice to like eat pop.
Game has changed, son of flitting.
Exactly. What was emotionally driven about that scene? Like nothing. It's just flashy and fun.
Deep philosophical underpinnings of.
I must do a 5-hour video essay about the hidden meaning of Tron Legacy.
I would watch it. I would totally watch it just so I can
Oh, God.
understand what the deep feelings are.
God. I have become them.
I mean, you could do that with I'm a David Lynch person, so like you could totally do David Lynch stuff. But something like Tron Legacy, it's like it looks great, but that's really about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I do like kind of the themes of it and whatnot. It's just one of my favorite movies. I love it so much. I don't be surprised if one day I send you a picture of me where I have a Tron cosplay suit.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure
I think
you
I
will.
would be surprised because it would come across as very random.
Yeah, it's not like there's a lot that really identifies as Tron.
Like what?
Dude,
that meme. Tron
I walked into Florida SuperCon once with a buddy, and he was dressing as a World War II soldier. So as we're walking in, someone yells, "Hey, Oppenheimer!"
Now that's a good film that you could
Yes!
totally dive into. Oppenheimer is fantastic.
Well, it's a
I would
Christopher
have to
Nolan
watch
film,
that
so.
again to like actually deep dive into it, but I watched it in theaters and I was like obsessed. I loved
I
it.
was a little concerned that he may actually try and make a bomb because he likes to do a lot of stuff.
I
practically.
love how Christopher Nolan has such a reputation that the thought of him actually getting to detonate a nuclear bomb,
Like Melee. You've seen Tenet, right?
No, I'm really bad with movies.
So there's a scene where a plane crashes into a hangar. They actually crashed like a 747 into a hangar for that scene.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So,
I
and you know the
couldn't- I
scene
couldn't
in
get into that one.
what was the Dream movie?
Inception.
Where like the rotating hallway, the hallway
Yeah.
actually
Yeah, it's been a
rotated.
while,
Like
but yeah.
the physical set was on a gimbal and it actually rotated.
Or in Dark Knight, the truck flip, that's real.
I didn't know that truck flip was real too. That's not CGI.
Nope.
No.
That's Nolan
wow,
for you.
okay.
He likes to do as much as possible doing practical.
Damn. Okay. Are we Inception fans here? It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
I've
so
actually
long, but I like
never seen Inception.
Really? Okay.
There's parts of it I like, and there's parts of it where I'm just like, no, like no.
It really feels like it was a cultural movement at the time, and like I thought it was a good movie, but it didn't stick with me by any means. I don't know, but people still like always refer back to it, so I was curious if it has like a big cult following or not.
All right, Melee.
Yeah.
They had a big chunk of TNT inside there to blow that air ram too. The only visual effect involved in that scene was to remove the ram that they had built inside the truck.
Isn't that crazy?
Catapulted it.
Dang.
Shooting in IMAX, we put the IMAX camera.
Yeah. Yeah, they actually did that for real.
That's impressive. I like when they do that kind of stuff. Show me real explosions.
Practical effects. They always beat CG.
Apparently, what Nolan did for the Oppenheimer stuff, he just used like a crap ton of gasoline.
I mean, that would make sense, right? How else would you pull that off?
I mean, get a real nuclear bomb.
Oh yeah, good luck with that. Who's gonna let that happen?
Go to the UN and say, can you imagine Nolan in front of the UN saying, hey, listen, guys, I got a fantastic idea. I'm making a movie and I don't want to do the CGI and I have a small request. Do you have a loose nuclear bomb somewhere?
Yeah,
I bet if Michael
Hook a brother up.
No big
deal.
If
Michael Bay after a nuclear bomb, they give him one.
And then the US is like, I got a guy.
No, we're sorry, Oklahoma got irradiated, but we made a really bitchin' scene.
Wait, but speaking of practical effects, in Top Gun, didn't they have to spend a bunch of money to move one of the carriers around or something?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this was the first Top Gun, by the way. I know exactly the story. So the director who was it was Tony Scott, Ridley Scott's brother, who was directing the movie, and they were doing like the intro scenes. And it was like this really nice like golden like sunrise stuff, and so the ship moved a certain way. It's like, hey, I need my shot, and so he was like, all right, how much does it cost to rent a aircraft carrier for 5 minutes? $25,000. So he basically gave the guy a check for $25,000 to rent an aircraft carrier for 5 minutes so he could get the shot.
That is the most expensive 5 minutes of someone's life. For what? For one shot? That's crazy.
I mean, Chris hasn't told you about the time he hired a high-class hooker, but you know.
As long as we're doing boogie levels, we're good here.
I love how we just heard him far away go, what the?
I also heard someone died in the filming Top Gun as well. There's like a guy that's credited at the end of the credits, and they were like in living memory of, and he like died flying a ship or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I think it was the guy. He was like a helicopter pilot. He got like a lot of the outside background footage. He passed away. Like his helicopter crashed.
That's crazy, man.
By the way, fun fact. You know how in Top Gun Maverick, the marketing said, oh, we're flying real jets? That was BS.
Yes.
What? They didn't fly real jets?
Some of them were, but some of them they actually had them in a CGI plane.
Oh, damn.
They just use that.
Phony.
Hollywood likes to say, oh, we're doing this in real things for marketing purposes.
Okay. I need to clarify. They were real planes. Okay. All right. There you go.
Is this like a 80% real meat type situation?
Director Joseph Kosinski, DOP Claudia Miranda worked closely with aerial.
By the way, this video series is freaking amazing.
For real.
That's ground photography, mounted camera platforms, whether they're internal or external on the F-18s. We used both. It's helicopter and it's jet to jet.
And this is crazy stuff. It has never been done before, and it looks amazing.
Top Gun is a movie about getting an in-camera.
And there is not a single Skydance even tweeted no CGI here to confirm, I presume, that they're flying anti-circus to be completely replaced with CGI. So how many jets are CGI and how many are real? The Dark final film. Instead, they filmed these L-39 stand-in jets.
Yeah. So they did use real jets, but they basically CGI'd over them. I think that's a fair thing because you still get the real movements of the jets. It's basically kind of think of it like mocap. Think of it like a very expensive motion capture.
I don't think this is offensive at all. I mean, this makes sense, right? You still have to make it cinematic.
Painted them gray and added tracking markers so they could be used for lighting reference and tracked, essentially using them as a flying anti-circus to be completely replaced with CGI. So how many jets are CGI and how many are real? The Dark Star was made available to the production as a full-size mock-up.
So yeah, like that's essentially what they did. They used real jets as essentially mocap. Like, and I think it really helps. I think it really helps the movie because the planes move realistically. They're moving like real jets.
But they marketed it a lot like because when a few times in the marketing when they said, "Oh yeah, we're in real jets," they cut to shots of Maverick in the cockpit, and I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Well,
but then you
Maverick
have
was in the cockpit.
like
He was in the cockpit though. Like all the pilots were in action.
No, I know that,
Yeah.
but cockpit's mid-flight while they're doing all these crazy maneuvers.
No,
But
they
here's
were
the
have
thing,
like
like
shaky cam footage. Then like it wouldn't look good.
No,
at
no,
all.
no,
Well,
no. They
well,
actually
guys.
put them in cockpits because they had two seaters and they had someone else flying the plane and they had the actors in the second seat shooting their shots.
Yeah, but like they literally just said that they used CG for their jets because doing a maneuver on your own up in the sky and then using that motion capture data is not the same as
that's gonna be
choreographed
garbage
with
data.
other-
That is not going to look good.
Well, but like, if you've ever been to an air show, like the shit that they pull off, it's almost like NASCAR. A lot of people go just to see the pilots die because when they do pull that risky shit, there is a high percentage chance that they're not coming home. And there is a lot of video footage going around of air shows of people like crashing and burning. But like when you have your jet out in the middle of a controlled environment and you're like, okay, do an alien roll, do a barrel,
Do a barrel
roll. Yeah, like do all that shit and like then motion capture that and then skin a 3D model of a CG jet. That's a whole lot different than filming two jets literally dogfighting because that is super freaking dangerous and you have a high likelihood of dying.
Yeah. I think the way that Maverick did it was fine. And the thing is, when they're in the cockpit, that's actually actors in a cockpit. They're not flying. They have like another person flying, but they're still filming it. And I think that's why it looks so good. It's because they're actually in a plane and it's flying around doing that stuff.
Now, if they're in the second seat, did they? I'm not entirely familiar with the layout of the seating, but I know in some of those older jets, the guy in the second seat actually faces backwards. So
I
they
don't know.
You know, like reverse the footage. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the thing is, I don't know what planes they use, but they're supposed to be like F-30.
Not F-35s. They're F-18 Hornets.
F-18 Hornets. Okay.
Nerd.
Yeah.
You're the nerd. You just corrected me. You're the nerd.
Okay. In that case, Nick, get your damn planes right. This isn't hard.
Yeah, we're all nerds.
Like I will
Really
say,
hard.
as contrived as it is, I do like how they found a way to get Maverick into an F-14 Tomcat for the finale.
And I love he gets in the plane, and this will become the drop whenever Nick enters my stream where Goose goes, "Oh my gosh, this thing is so old."
And they did the same trick that the first movie did. It's like they called it the enemy because in Top Gun 1, I think it was like North Korea kind of.
It was
thing.
the
Russians or whatever. But in this one, it's very clearly Iran because Iran is still actually using F-14s. You know, they actually have F-14s in their fleet.
Well, it was either Iran. Yeah,
Iran so far away.
It was either Iran or like some Eastern European terrorist group.
I think Iran is the only country still using F-14s though.
Yeah, but they make it where no, but I'm pretty sure they said it was like some type of like East European group.
So who here has seen the movie Stealth?
I did.
It's a really crazy movie. Like I love how it has like an evil AI, but the craziest thing is halfway through the movie, the evil AI is actually good. It actually teams up with the pilot.
It's all a big conspiracy. And then what you find out later is that they use that AI's brain as the basis for Skynet. Boom, Terminator.
I need that chart and I need that 5-hour breakdown.
I can link anything.
Yarn up on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, this needs to be a topic for the Friday Night Frenzy at some point. But yeah, oh god.
Well, it's kind of like how during his time being immortal and crap, Wolverine was also the dude in Les Mis.
Did you know that on the Deadpool soundtrack, they actually snuck in a song for The Greatest Showman?
Jeez.
And then later he owned a circus. This is everything that happened in the lives of Wolverine.
And then later on,
Where does he own the circus?
And then
in The Greatest Showman. The Greatest Showman. It's every Hugh Jackman movie links together because he's Wolverine.
All right.
He's
So what about Real Steel? Link together Real Steel.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened is that after he retired from the X-Men, he spent some time as a cage fighter, as we saw in X-Men 1, then he later. This is like
I got one.
A few years before Logan, so that's how you have like robots.
Jared,
go ahead.
Jared. Okay, Matt. Weave this one in. How did Wolverine? How did Wolverine get into the X-Men after the movie 48, where he had testicles on his throat?
Where I never saw that movie. Well, actually, here's the thing. You remember how in Logan his healing factor was kind of acting up? Well, in this one, it really acted up.
Did Deadpool kick him so hard in the balls they flew up into his throat?
What happened is someone cut off it. Someone turned Wolverine into a eunuch, but then they grew back in the wrong spot.
So
See, I got this.
So in X-Men 3, I really wish I had the drop from X-Men 3 where Logan says, "Try and grow those back."
Grow those back, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Grow those back. That's what it was.
Melee, what's your comment on this insanity?
My comment is I really want Jared's theory on what's his face? Who's the vampire from Twilight? Oh my God, what's his name? Yeah, Robert Pattinson. How he goes from being Edward Cullen to like being in 9/11 to being Batman. This is what I want to know.
Really, it's simple. See, actually, the 9/11 movie takes place before that. So what happened is that the 9/11 movie happened. Then after that, he was bitten and turned into a vampire. Oh wait, no.
But he's been a vampire for hundreds of years.
Yeah, I just realized that. So actually, he was a vampire the whole time. That's why he was avoiding any silver beams or anything like that.
This is actual recording from a Hollywood executive.
Yeah, and then later what happened is after that give it like a few years, he went hunting for treasure with Andy Serkis, and then later he decided, you know what? I really liked being a bat creature. Batman! That looks good. And then he decided, I will become a bat. And then he became Batman.
Can you do that in a Jewish accent while eating at a restaurant?
I can't. Sorry, I can't.
So then he became Batman.
So what you also don't know is that Chris Pratt, so Andy Dwyer from Parks and Rec, he started off like that. Then he enlisted in the Navy SEALs and participated in the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. Then he was abducted by aliens and became Star-Lord.
All right, I got one for you.
And then he became Mario, and then
he became Mario.
All right,
Garfield.
I got one for you, Jared. How did Jim from The Office become Shazam?
What you don't, he wasn't Shazam.
Yeah, it's the guy Jim from The Office. He became Shazam.
No, he's
it's not.
Okay.
It's Zachary Levi. You old.
He's the Fantastic Four guy.
Okay, fine. How did Chuck become Shazam?
Well, easy. At some point after the show ends, when he makes out with Sarah, when he makes out with Sarah later, what happens is the wizard takes him at that moment and gives him the powers and says, "You can restore her memory, but first you must be my champion."
Oh, Jared, sorry. Did you? Okay, but no. Did you notice that one moment in Deadpool where they made a Black Adam reference?
Yes, I did. I saw it. I was like, oh God. But anyway,
where they made a bit of it, like the hierarchy of the Marvel.
Give me another one. You can't stump me.
All right, Blade Trinity to Deadpool.
I never watched Blade Trinity. I can't comment on that.
He just stopped you.
Yeah.
Rip.
It has to be on movies that I've watched, obviously, because I need to know the plot so I can link to them.
All right. So...
And wait, Blade Trinity to Deadpool? Blade just comes over. What are you talking about? It's the same universe.
Spoilers.
It's the same universe. They marketed that he's in the movie. Anyway.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. The panel, Comic-Con panel, they did. So anyway, give me another one. Give me a tough one.
Okay.
We have to start throwing like extras at him. Like there's this character in the background.
No,
of,
it
like, a
has to be an
school
identifiable
scene.
character.
What if they become a big actor later in life?
All right,
tell me who they are.
All right, Rob Stark to Icarus.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Richard Madden, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened is, I assume he dies in Game of Thrones, right?
Yes.
He dies, and then the Celestial uses his body as the genetic template for Icarus. Boom!
Dave, yes.
It's all in the Jared-verse.
Oh god.
Give me another one.
I mean, Melee. You should know that me and Jared have connected Hearts of Stone to Wonder Woman and Fast and Furious. We have
Really, the way it works is that Wonder Woman happens first, obviously, because the time period it takes place in. Then she leaves. Then we skip 1984 for obvious reasons.
That never even happened.
What
So
is
anyway,
the obvious reason. Oh,
it's a horrible movie.
Okay.
So then, let me put it this way: Wonder Woman 1984 is the sequel trilogy of Wonder Woman movies. So that's all I got to say.
Wonder Woman 1984 is the Ghostbusters 2016.
So then Diana just lays low. Then she's recruited by a little-known street thug named Dominic Toretto.
No, she's recruited by the Heart Foundation.
No, the Heart comes later.
Wait, the Heart Foundation?
Like from WWF? Yeah.
Oh, no. It's my turn to cook. So
No,
one day-
Nick.
Jared,
I was talking.
So no. This is my time to shine. So basically, it's kind of like the mid to late '90s, and she's chilling in Montreal, and then all of a sudden she gets a knock on a hotel room, and it's Bret Hart, and he says, "I just got screwed. You want to join the Heart Foundation?"
No, so what actually happens is because that multiverse world.
I love how Melee's like, oh god.
I just pruned that world. So then
I restored
she hangs out with the Fast and the Furious people for like a couple of movies / years. And then
Pre or post Paul Walker?
Well, didn't she die in the movie where Paul Walker left?
No, she actually died in the movie right before his.
Okay, so when she
the
left,
Paul Walker character actually outlived
so what
her.
you don't know is that in between the Fast and the Furious movies, she got a call from Bruce Wayne.
It was me, Austin.
So in between the Fast and the Furious movies, she gets a call from Bruce Wayne that it's time to assemble the Justice League. So she fakes her own death, and then the events of Zack Snyder's Justice League take place, the better movie. And then
yes, Tab.
Yes, exactly, Tabby. That's the way this works. So then after that, she goes and hangs out with this organization called Heart, which is essentially the Heart of Stone. Then Then what happens is she comes back inexplicably in a submarine to save Letty in the most recent Fast and the Furious
Also,
movie.
Bret Hart
Boom.
is the leader of the Heart Foundation.
No, he's not. That's not the way the movie was. That's not the way the movie was.
That's the way my movie works. This is my stream.
I just pruned your timeline, a-hole.
I restored it. I stopped.
As
I
we
stopped
saw-
the Time Ripper.
That's not what that thing does!
Multiverses are pain, and that's why they shouldn't be in comic books.
Yes, I agree.
Fun fact:
This
DC invented the multiverse.
Did
Yeah,
you
back in the-
see? Speaking of DC and multiverse, have you seen the Temu or Wish.com version of May from Overwatch that they just put in? That Suicide Squad.
Oh, God damn! Talani and I watched
All
it
right.
last night. Oh my gosh!
All right, one sec.
Oh, you mean the Miss Karen Freeze?
Yeah, they have Victoria Freeze instead of Victor Freeze, and it's this fat lesbo that's like Asian.
Or
and shit,
even
and
worse,
it's like,
have you seen
what
the
the hell
Pride
is
skin?
this?
Is the
Yeah,
Pride
they give
skin a
up-
parody or is that legit?
No, it's
It's
legit.
legit. It looks like Bozo the Clown, and they're like, "This is totally serious."
That's actually in the
Bozo
game.
the Froze. Oh
Yes.
God damn! That is real.
Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, you too can show your pride for $20.99. It's actually paid DLC. You have
is
to
that
pay
real,
for the privilege of
man?
being so cringe.
Holy.
Yeah, they just made an ugly fat lesbian like instead of Victor.
You could have
Victor Freeze is one of the coolest enemies too. Well,
You
one
could
is
have just
not
grabbed
him.
him.
Dude.
Yeah, I really liked the whole Victor Freeze story because it was sympathetic. He was desperate to revive his wife, or the love of his life, and they turned it into this like lesbian thing.
By the way, Nick, I got another thing I just merged. So after The Boys ends, Butcher becomes a judge named Dredd.
No,
Dude, he was
honestly,
born
here's
to
the
play Judge
thing
Dredd.
with those two characters.
No,
it's
no,
not
it
that hard of a
happens.
transition.
No. By the way, so when he got recruited into the CIA, they actually sent him on some missions. One of the missions was to hunt down Jason Bourne.
I was about to say I forgot to Jason Bourne
Because he was recruited by the CIA. Also, in one of those early missions, he was he was required to track down some retired CIA assassins. Heat.
Well, and then also what you find
Red,
out
or
is
Red Notice or whatever.
So did you know how Spider-Man 2 links to Planet of the Apes? What you don't know is the whole ALZ serum was a pet project of Harry Osborn, played by James Franco, and he was trying to heal Norman of the Goblin formula, but it just created genetically enhanced super apes, and thus Planet of the Apes happens from Spider-Man. So when you think about it, Peter Parker allowing Norman Osborn to die led to the Planet of the Apes.
How does Planet of the Apes doesn't take place after Spider-Man 2, does it?
No, but James Franco was in both movies, so obviously he's Harry Osborn the entire time.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah, but wait a minute.
No.
Then.
No. But after the Spider-Man movies, Oscorp goes bankrupt. So Harry reinvents himself as a television journalist, and he has a talk show. And then one day,
God!
And so he investigates weed, and he investigates the strand of Pineapple Express. And then later on, him and his buddy Seth Rogen get invited to interview Kim Jong-un, and he uses the money from that interview to restart Oscorp. And
then what you find out
that leads to Planet of the Apes.
Don't forget
the very last thing he did.
Sustained.
The very last thing he did before he shut down Oscorp was send Mark Wahlberg into space.
No, dude. There's a part where he sustained a head injury from the explosion of the Kim Jong-un helicopter or whatever.
That really his memory loss.
It made him tarded, and he pretended he was Tommy Wiseau and made a horrible. movie.
This is a good one, Jared. Here's your challenge. Do Kurt Russell.
I haven't seen most of those. I've seen Fast and the Furious and Guardians of the Galaxy, so I could do those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so anyway, so the way Fast and the
you've seen Stargate. Come on, you've seen Stargate.
Oh yeah. So what happens is
This is a Friday Night Frenzy, sir. Topic.
So when he goes back through the portal, and I'm talking about Kurt Russell, he actually did not go back to Earth. He went to Ego, and what happens is Ego assumed his body as an avatar, sent him back in time to impregnate Star-Lord's mother and lead to Star-Lord's birth. And
I can
what was the other movie?
Buy this theory.
Oh, and then years later, he became Master Nobody after Ego was destroyed and helped Dominic Toretto.
All right.
And then what you don't know is that later Peacemaker shows up for no reason because he's a useless DC character, and everyone. And then what happens is while they're fighting Aquaman, Aquaman decides, okay, Peacemaker, no one cares about you. Go die in a fire explosion.
All right, I got one for you, Jared. Keanu Reeves. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Point Break. Speed. The Matrix, John Wick, go.
Can you write down a list, put it in the chat so I can remember?
All right.
Because I've seen all those movies except Point Break, but I get the general concept of Point Break. This is going to be good. See, you can't stump me. You really can't. I am the master of merging.
Did you know
worlds.
there's actually fan theories linking Roadhouse to Point Break?
Of course, they're all in the same universe. That's why.
Roadhouse.
No,
I mean, I've heard
I'm done asking questions.
I love
on
how
this channel.
Melee is on the verge of a brain aneurysm
Oh,
at this
oh,
point.
here's a fan theory for you. Great Gatsby and Titanic. So here's
That's just
the fan
the
theory.
same fucking movie,
Easy,
man.
easy. What
No,
you
no,
don't?
no, what
No,
happens
Nick.
is-
Allow me. When Jack went under the water, what really happened is he fell into a portal and was transported to the mainland, and he became the Great Gatsby.
I heard it. I
okay.
heard he just snuck away because he was so tired of that fat bitch's attitude.
See,
I never
so here's
changed,
what happened.
Chris.
He
So
staged the
Jack
whole
act-
thing.
Yep.
So Jack actually survived,
Yep.
and he pawned off the heart of the ocean. But he
Yep.
actually
And
had
that's
the
how
heart
he
of
got the
ocean at
Gatsby
end.
mansion. Yeah.
and that's how he got his initial sea capital. Because you got to realize this is in 1912. So if he had like the heart of the ocean was on like just selling that diamond would get him a really good chunk of change.
Nick,
And
give
if
me
he's
my
savvy enough-
Keanu Reeves movies.
I'm doing it, but I want to cook
Whoa.
you. So it's actually a plausible theory in my opinion.
All right, give me my Keanu Reeves movies. I want to really. Okay, here we go. So what happens is, this is going to be easy. So after Dracula, obviously he gets immortality, and later on he becomes an FBI agent and investigates the Point Break crew. So later he decides, you know what, I want to go faster. So he takes on a dude that straps a bomb to a bus. But what happens is what he doesn't know is that this was all a simulation by the machines. So after the Matrix 3, because we pretend the fourth movie didn't happen. After the Matrix 3, he retires. He's off in a nest egg. Then someone kills his dog. And then he goes, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. And then he murders everyone. There you go. Next.
So apparently in Point Break they mention a Patrick's Roadhouse.
So Nick, what else you got? Give me a really tough one.
Oh God.
I know you
Melee.
can't stump me.
Melee.
Yeah, give me a tough one to link.
So out of my depth with this conversation, I don't know. Go tell me the story of John Travolta.
He's been in so many movies. How do you
Exactly.
expect me to link that?
Exactly.
I spent 45 minutes on my hair. Why'd you have to mess my hair up?
I'm sorry, but I do love like the fan theories that link movies together. Like Melee. Have you heard the theory that The Rock is actually a James Bond movie?
Yeah. Didn't Sean Connery actually say that?
What? Oh yeah, The
Sure.
Rock. Okay, I'm sorry. I was
So
thinking
in
the
The
rest
Rock-
of The
They were
Rock.
doing The Rock
My
job.
brain was in
He's
WWF
small.
again.
So the theory is
like
that
a
in The
what?
Rock, The Rock has a guy named John Mason who broke out of Alcatraz in the 60s.
Well, that
What the
movie's
theory is-
inspired by James Bond, isn't it? Like it's very similar feeling.
No, there's an interview.
But if you actually dive into it, the timeline actually matches up pretty well. So the
Yeah.
theory is that John Mason is actually the Sean Connery James Bond. So apparently, in between like there's actually a James Bond movie where he's actually breaking out of Alcatraz. So the theory, or like deals with Alcatraz. So and there's like a big gap of time between some of those movies in the movies. So the theory is he was doing this stuff. He got caught, put into Alcatraz. He got burned, and then when he escaped, he resumed being James Bond.
Yeah,
Spooky.
I could have sworn there was it was an interview with Connery somewhere where he basically like the studios didn't confirm it, but Connery did. He's like, well, of course, like that's and it's like, wow.
Have you guys ever heard of the Wonka?
And what happens after that is Cage actually gets contacted by the devil and becomes Ghost Rider.
Melee, have you ever heard of the Wonka Piercer theory?
You said a
Yeah, that's
lot
a
of
good one.
words that I don't understand.
Snowpiercer is a continuation of the Willy Wonka film.
Like,
okay,
it's two or three YouTube videos, and the guy lays it out in such amazing detail that I don't know. Like, it kind of makes you think that the filmmakers intended.
Wait,
it
Willy
because-
Wonka?
Yeah.
Which version of Willy Wonka?
The 70s one.
Charlie and the Chocolate. Yeah. That Wilford is actually Charlie. So here's kind of a thing in a nutshell. So
This
you
is
know
what
what
comic books do to people. I just want to make this clear.
So
As you can see, I have a lot of comic books. That's why I'm crazy
Melee.
like this.
Melee, you've seen Snowpiercer, correct? Okay.
Yeah,
You're not going to force me to watch this, okay? You've already
But
burned your
there
karma
is-
with Robin Hood Men in
Harry
Tights.
Elwes does not appear in Snowpiercer, okay?
By the way, Hot Shots was the movie I watched with him yesterday. I was like, why? He keeps showing up.
Just don't watch Twister because he's the antagonist in that movie. I swear, one of these days, if I ever get a chance to meet Harry Elwes, I'm actually going to record a video of him giving you guys a shout out.
Oh my god. I can't
Like,
escape
screw
this man.
promoting my channel. I'm going to have him promote your channel and give it to you guys.
He's like your favorite person on earth, but you want him to promote me. Just because it drives me crazy.
I'm sorry. I love the shitpost. I love the troll. And that would be so great. Because
Really?
I
Very
know you
successful
guys would
troll.
use it. Okay, Snowpiercer. Wonka Piercer. Okay.
Yeah, what is this Snowpiercer?
It's like a train. But anyway, here's
What?
kind of thing in the.
It's a train. That's what it is. It's a
So
train.
basically, it's a post-apocalyptic movie about a train that circles the Earth, and like the Earth is like snow covered because they tried to do this chemical to cool down the Earth, and it worked a little bit too well.
This takes place on a world where Batman and Robin didn't stop Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze
Sounds
is
like
really
the-
Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah, Jared.
Express, man.
By the way, Jared, Snowpiercer is a comic movie, so we can cover it on movie.
I'm
Night.
not covering on Comics League.
It's literally a comic book movie.
There are plenty of comic book movies I won't cover.
I want this
Justice
list.
League.
I want this list that he won't cover. I want to know the blacklist.
I want
All right,
the I'm Not Starfire review.
Chris, why do you hate me?
Well, no. What you,
All right,
what
do you want to know my
realize-
list? Do you want to know
I do. I really
anything
do.
by Joss Whedon and anything by James Gunn at this point because the dude's a hack. And anything.
So we're not covering Brightburn.
Nope. Anything based on the Injustice movie comic book series. Because
Doesn't he? Wait, didn't James Gunn work on Guardians of the Galaxy? So you won't touch Guardians of the Galaxy anymore?
Not really. So then we get
Wow,
to. I have to be committed. I have to commit Melee. That's the way
James,
this works.
he is a force of nature, a sheer fucking will.
So then, okay. So what else will I not cover? There's a lot. I have to narrow it down in my head. It's probably the Superman 64 game. I refuse to cover or play that. Nick, it's never happening.
I've tried. I have
don't
tried.
know what that is, but now you've intrigued
Superman
me.
4: The Quest for
Wait.
Peace.
You've never heard of Superman 64?
Oh, Superman 64. Sorry, I
The
thought you were
game.
talking about like a
Game.
board game or something.
You're a
and I was
video
like,
gamer. You should
No,
know about this
I know
game.
what Superman 64 is. I thought you guys said Superman 4 the board game. And I was like, what is Superman 4 the board game?
Sounds more enjoyable than the M64.
By the way, Tavia, I would.
LA, if I ever see you and James at a convention, we are recording a video where we play the Pokemon to be a master board game.
I love that board game. It's great.
It is so long, but it's complicated, but I
We're
love it.
stealing Jared's thunder here. I want the black.
I know. Thank you.
Jared,
the
will you
Hunger
play
Games
Superman
mo-
69?
Any of the Hunger Games movies, because those are just boring as
I like
all
them.
others.
Are
The
they
Twilight
comic
movies.
book though?
They're based on books, so I could kind of link those if I wanted to, but I really
Okay.
don't. I see.
Well, see,
I
Jared's
saved my
flexible with
stretch.
his rules.
Normally, I allow some stretch in my what qualifies a comic book movie. Like if a movie has comics about the world, I'll cover it, but it has to be a movie that I genuinely enjoy. Hence, not the Hunger Games.
Like for example, Brightburn would probably work under Jared's system.
No, it wouldn't. It's not a comic book movie.
No, Jared, just hear me out. But it's directed by it has James Gunn, so that's why. But if James Gunn wasn't involved,
Nope.
I think
It wouldn't.
a case could be made because it's evil Superman.
Exactly why I wouldn't, because I hate evil Superman. That trope has been done to death. The only person that
Jared,
did it
would
well
you
was
do
Zack Snyder.
Unbreakable?
I would do the M. Night Shyamalan movies because those make direct references to comic books in them.
Okay, well, there you
That counts. That counts.
See, that's an example of you're stretching the rules about like comic book stuff. So
the other movies I definitely won't cover is the M. Night Shyamalan Avatar movie with Aang and Iroh.
Technically,
Isn't that like going into anime?
No, but they have comics for it, so technically.
Technically, we covered it on my channel. Oh God, that was a pretty stream.
Remember that. So what's another? Oh yeah, Birds of Prey, because that movie. Let's see what else. Probably. What else will I not?
Would you do the Birds of Prey TV show?
Yes, that I would, because that's actually.
Did you know there's a Birds of Prey TV show?
Yeah, it came
like
out in
an
the
old
90s.
one or an
older
from
one
the 2000s.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah,
appearance of
old
live
one.
action Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that is, yeah.
The woman who played Dana in Starship Troopers is Barbara.
Now, as much as I loathe Bruce Timm, I cover his stuff because his stuff is quality, some of it, and also it's fun to dunk on someone that thinks Batman sleeping with an 18-year-old is a good idea. Yeah,
I'm getting
that's him with
PTSD from our
Batgirl.
first conversation. that
Yes,
we ever had.
exactly, exactly. That's the way it works.
All right,
But
all
did
right.
you know that he actually? I learned he actually was not behind the art style of Batman the Animated Series. That was someone else.
What? Who was behind what?
Melee, check this out.
And so what happened is actually the Batman the Animated Series art style was based on the art of Radomski, not Bruce Timm.
This
It's the
show
first time I've ever heard this.
It's just what happens is he does what he always does and takes credit for other people's work. He's like Tom King.
By the way, this show is kind of meant to be a bit of a pseudo. So it has Black Canary, and they actually have Black Canary's mother come in, and it's Lori Loughlin is from Full House.
So what you don't know is that she actually paid for what's the word? She paid for Dinah to get into the Birds of Prey. Right?
Honestly, this looks like it's so bad it's good.
It's
Well,
actually
for the
not
time
that.
period, it was
Oh,
really
you know
good.
what's horrible? I did cover this because I didn't know how bad it was. There's a 90s Justice League of America movie. Nick, please plug in some images from the 90s Justice League of America movie. Chris, have you ever seen this?
No.
No. That!
Like, not a fan movie, a legit movie.
It's a legit movie. It was meant to be So these are the actual costumes from the movie. So that's the Atom, Fire, Flash, Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and Ice.
That's.
And Green Lantern is wearing a turquoise outfit.
I think there's a certain Triple X guy that would do better maybe at the costumes.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh my! I'm sold though. There's a cat. I like the cat.
The cat.
This looks like a Wilson Phillips video.
Let's see what else is one that I definitely won't cover.
And Melee. Did you know there's a Captain America?
Oh, I got it. I won't cover any of the Captain Marvel movies.
No. There's something I have to show her. Oh my god.
Oh, David Hasselhoff. That's Nick Fury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick
He
is
actually-
muted.
Come this
It-
way,
it was pretty
Nicholas.
decent.
I have something else I want to show you.
Is this before they race swapped him?
Yep.
Yeah. This is like the 998.
Oh god, that's terrifying.
Oh my god.
You need to sign these
real.
cards.
It's an
What are
LMD.
Ever
Life
seen
Vital
so-
Decoy. Why are you putting something up his
Why?
nose?
Ah, gross.
What is the purpose
Remember,
of putting
you
a
don't
chip up
hassle
his
the
nose?
Hawk.
I'm the Terminator.
Oh my god.
He took it like a champ.
It gets worse.
Yeah, I
It
won't
gets
cover
worse.
any Captain Marvel movies because those movies are horrible abominations.
That's a valid stance.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a whole ass show.
Yeah.
It was a TV movie.
Oh my.
Why don't you take your blow dryer and get the hell out of my afternoon sun? Always a pleasure to see the old warhorse chewing out the troops.
So they sent you too.
Is that who I think it is?
Contessa?
Oh, it's not Romanov?
Contessa Valentino de Allegra Fontaine.
You know who that is? That's Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character in the MCU. That's who she plays.
Don't let the blue
What a
blood
downgrade.
fool you, Pierce.
I know.
Val's an old hand at the sexpionage game, aren't you?
Well, she's
Come
actually
on,
Black
Tom,
Widow
Nick.
in this one. It's this version of Black Widow.
But was Contessa ever a Black Widow, though?
I don't know, but yeah, like I think this was a TV movie. This was a TV movie.
It
I remember
looked like
seeing
a
this.
TV movie.
Yeah, wasn't this on Fox?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, so by the way, do you know how Star Trek links to X-Men?
How?
Patrick Stewart.
Well, yeah, but what you find out is that the entirety of the Next Generation is a Danger Room simulation just for Charles Xavier.
So
See,
is
the
holodeck,
Danger Room
like,
is their
Inception?
holodeck.
This is the one I can buy into the most, partially because I don't know enough about Star Trek, but this makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Did you know that they tried to create an MCU in like the 70s
Oh,
and the
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. They had Thor and they had Hulk. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, Lou.
This is better than Thor: Love and Thunder.
Like the version of Iron Man here.
Look at that. This is better than She-Hulk. That's another thing I
Well,
won't cover.
Iron Man wasn't in this one. This was I know what you're getting at. The one where he like gets it, he like lies down and he's like paralyzed and shit.
Yeah.
Like, that was a different movie, and I don't think.
And
like, somebody
Daredevil was in Trial of the Incredible Hulk, which, by the
Yep.
way, is the first Stan Lee cameo ever.
Wow.
Melee.
Yeah, that was where they besmirched my family name.
Really?
What?
Yeah. He was going on trial against Wilson Fisk.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, wait. There's
I
no
was
way
buying
that's
into what you were saying. I'm like, what?
That's so scary. He looks like Gollum.
Precious.
First Stan Lee cameo ever.
Wow,
Look at Stan the
1989.
Man.
That's crazy.
1989.
Yeah, the first Stan Lee cameo ever.
What you later find out is in the MCU, he's an immortal and he's been through all these different multiverse worlds.
Well, actually, I think the MCU heavily implies he's a Watcher agent. Like,
Yeah,
I think they basically heavily imply he's an agent for the Watchers.
Yes, exactly. So the Watchers, Melee, in case you don't know, are these guys with big giant heads that watch everything that's going on in the multiverse, and they have one vow: they will never intervene. They always intervene.
Why do they intervene then if they said they're never going
Because
to?
one of them is
Because
friends
comics.
with Reed. Because comics, that's why.
I mean,
So
yeah.
actually, Melee, did I ever tell you how the second Robin came back to life originally?
Oh God!
No,
Oh
I
God!
don't think
Oh
we've talked
God!
about this.
Tell
All
the
right,
story.
so you know who Red Hood is, I assume, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So you know, so he died. So they wanted to bring him back. So they had this story. So they had this story called Infinite Crisis, and what they did. So this alternate version of Superman named Superboy Prime. He comes from literally our world where the adventures of the DC characters are in comic books. It's mad as hell. So he's in a paradise dimension where it's basically a big white room. We could watch and see all the DC world. And he sees like all the dark storylines going after like the death of Superman, Batman getting his back broken by Bane. So he goes, this isn't the way superheroes supposed to be. So he punches the wall of reality and it sends ripples, and the ripples resurrect Jason Todd.
What?
So literally,
Comic
wait,
books.
Jason Todd was punched back to life.
That's the best way
I guess
to be revived ever.
I guess you could say Superman. brought him
Superboy
to
Prime.
life.
Yeah. So eventually they undid that and made it. They just put him in a Lazarus pit. Just put him in there. Just put him in there.
Well, the pit
Yeah,
breaks
honestly,
everything.
honestly, that version just works so much better.
Oh, did you know what happened to Captain Marvel / Ms. Marvel in Avengers 200?
Oh, Nix is not here to groan at it.
So what happened is, Carol Danvers is one of those characters that Marvel either has done really well or really bad. And this is the example of really bad. So Carol Danvers walks into the Avengers mansion and she's pregnant all of a sudden, has no memory of what happened.
How did
So,
she get pregnant?
I will explain. And trust me, it's
Okay.
cringe as hell.
Is
So
acolyte shit or something? Or
no, it's worse.
Close.
It's worse. So the baby accelerates and eventually just gives birth within a day. So the baby starts growing fast. So they're like, the hell? Except none of the Avengers are like creeped out by this. They're like, oh, it's a baby! Oh my gosh! They will call back this later. So it turns out what happened was, so the baby grows up really fast and grows to adulthood within like a couple of hours. And he goes, oh, thank God my plan worked to get out of that dimension. So what happened was this guy wanted to get out of the... so this guy named Marcus was stuck in limbo. The only way he could get out is to be born into this world. So he kidnapped Carol Danvers, serenaded her with music, flowers, made her fall in love with him, had sex with her, impregnated her with himself, sent her back to the regular dimension, and she gave birth to him.
That's insane.
So when you look at Brie Larson's
What?
character in the MCU, I want you to remember that story right there.
So
That takes some creativity.
Did you know a storyline they almost did for Wonder Woman?
Did
No,
they do
okay,
similar?
wait.
That's scary.
Melee. Did you know that Carol Danvers used to be an interesting character?
No, because I mean,
So
I only
so
ever
take a
know
look
her
at
from-
this.
That's her old costume.
Oh, I like that outfit.
Yeah,
It's a great
so
outfit.
yeah, see, Carol Danvers actually dates back to like the 70s.
And that run is one of the best runs ever, where she comes back to like being a superhero and she's like, I suck at being a superhero. I actually have to learn how to be a superhero at this point.
Yeah, and if you look at some of the older what is it, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
Yep, it was in that.
and-
Played by Jennifer Hale.
That's what I was getting to.
What? Jennifer Hale? No way.
Who would have known that? But
but yeah, so let's kind of wrap up
real quick. This will only take a second. In the 90s, they had the death of Superman. They had Batman Nightfall. They wanted to do something for Wonder Woman.
Oh God, no.
I'll be PG about this, Nick. So Mark
Please.
Millar, he's a very edgy comic book writer. As a joke, he proposes the violation of Wonder Woman. Let me put it to you that way. The other word starts with an R. But imagine this. DC would have had to market an event to have marketing material printed out that says the blank of Wonder Woman. And the first pages would have been full splash pages of that happening.
That's insane.
Yeah. That's DC for you.
All right,
I mean, they
so
do all sorts of storytelling.
before we wrap up, Jared, I have something I want to say to you.
Oh God.
You are still dangerous. You can be my wingman anytime.
Bullshit. You can be mine.
Okay, I was expecting
You're like-
something mean. I was like, oh, what's he gonna do this time? I'll take it.
Okay, you can be my. So if you made it this far, please make.
Look at Hardcore Bunny. Look at Hardcore Bunny. That's
Y'all
we
think
call
of
going hashtag full
volleyball.
circle.
Yeah, that's the volleyball scene right there.
Oh God.
All right, if you made it this far, please
Nick, he's so
leave a
jealous.
like, subscribe if you haven't. Oh God.
He's like, okay, just go through the motions so I can end this. This.
I'm gonna have to do a live. I'm gonna have to live stream Extreme Beach Volleyball after this, aren't I?
Yes,
Sure you
yes, you will.
Play Dead or Alive.
All right, sign up for the Kickstarter if you haven't already. We go live next week. Make sure to back it. It's a good book, trust me. And then I'll be on CLD. I'll be giving Jared lots of heck. And then tomorrow I'll be streaming some Witcher 3. It'll be awesome. And yeah, got lots of good stuff. And now we're gonna go around. Everyone can shield something if they want, or just say their final thoughts. As always, we shall start with the fairest of them all, Chris.
Are you pulling the chick shit again?
I
Homie,
gave
don't
you
play
a
that.
compliment, sir.
That's not going to work for me, brother.
Man, Chris, you on fire tonight,
Okay,
bro.
okay, WCW era Hulk Hogan.
All right, brother.
I'm giving you the finger poke of doom.
Sure you are.
I'm Vince Russo. I'm a terrible writer.
Yeah, no argument there.
I like Vince Russo. We're not getting into this now.
Bro, you can use any word you want, bro.
Bro, I love the
literally-
Attitude Era. I don't care.
I
no
literally
apologies.
got Razor Fist to block me over insulting his sacred cow. It is one of my best
I'm not
blocks
gonna-
ever.
I'm not gonna block you over disliking Vince Russo. I'm just saying that the
No, I'm
Attitude
saying
Era was
Razor
a beautiful
did.
time.
The whole thing with Razor
I like
Fist,
newer
got a block
Vince
over it.
Russo. Like, so I agreed with Cornette when Jim Cornette flipped out on him about the whole boxing thing, where that dude
Oh,
got like
brawl for
paralyzed and shit. Yeah, that
Okay,
brawl. For all. He's
yeah.
like, that was the stupidest shit. People got hurt, and I totally agree with him. But
Yeah.
like,
Well,
Vince Russo
had,
is now
like,
making a
three-
lot of sense now.
Vince Russo had 3 years where he was relevant in like the Attitude Era, but he was also propped up. He had like every other time he's had the top. He has ground companies into the dirt. WCW, TNA, like all these companies. Every time he's given his own stuff, he ruins companies. The one time he was actually good, he had Vince McMahon, Jim Cornette, Jim Ross, all these other people tempering and extracting what good ideas they could from him.
I mean, my
That
point
was-
is they're all a good team together. Like, I don't think any of these guys have done great on their own. I love Vince McMahon too, but like, I'm just saying, I don't have a problem with Vince Russo. I know why people have issues with him, but I think he did a lot of good for all the garbage you can say about him too.
He's the equivalent of a one-hit wonder. That's you know, and even then, that's not even his sole accomplishment. I think a lot of the hate for him is justified. But Vince was good for his time. The problem is he eventually lost touch. I love how this just became a wrestling podcast.
Always. I love wrestling. I'll talk about it all day.
All right. Let's wrap this up. Chris, actually, Jared, since you got to go, you say your thing.
Like Nick said, we'll be talking about on CLD a bunch of topics about comic book stuff. Probably talking about spoiler-free Deadpool, Wolverine, maybe Crisis. We'll see. And on my Super Wonder podcast, Britt and I are going to be talking about how the Tomorrowverse was the first animated universe that actually respected Superman and Wonder Woman. Screw you, Bruce Timm. And then I got all the stuff with this old guy.
All right, Chris, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any streams coming up anytime soon, but
We have
yeah,
one coming up next Friday.
okay, next Friday. In addition to that, still working away on trying to get the Infinite Tale Chronicles Book 2 stuff out. Again, I sell books. I don't sell promises that are 3-4 years late. On top of that,
You don't peddle frog books. You peddle good books.
well, on top of that, dude, like I'm trying to pull out all the stops because generally the trends are your second book sells worse than your first. And I'm hoping to kind of buck that trend by pulling out all the stops. I got this really cool 8-inch statuette 3D printed out campaign. And I actually am including all of the paint, the sealer, the palette, the brushes, and everything with it. So it'll be a nice little box. It's got the painted example on the front. Comes with a little card that shows you like how to mix the colors to get what I did on the front image. And I'm hoping those will sell because I finally got my 3D printer working. I got a bunch of those printing out as we speak.
Nice.
And then I got those acrylic magnets there, the 16-bit heroes. They're all the sprites from the 16-bit era. If you like games like Shining Force or whatever, these would be the characters that you see based on, obviously, the Infinite Tale universe, but they would be what you would see for the combat animations. So those magnets also have rare earth rare earth magnets, which I think I might have made a huge mistake because those suckers are powerful, and if people buy enough, like I'm honestly worried that by transporting the box, like the whole cargo containing these things, I'm basically moving a railgun. Like, I was able to magnetically manipulate things from 6 feet away with these magnets. That's all I'm saying. Nothing's falling off your fridge with this, I swear.
So speaking of manipulating things from far away, Melee, what you got going on?
Wait, what?
What does that even mean?
That was mean.
I don't know. I was trying to do a segue.
That was a crappy segue. That was essentially a piece of crap segue you buy on
I don't
eBay
care.
for $5.
Listen, Jared, Chris, and all of chat are witnesses that every time I talk to you, Phoenix, you're always bringing the heat towards me too.
Yes,
this is
I am
not
a witness.
one-sided.
I am a witness.
This is not
Nick.
just me being the contrarian here. You also do this.
I am a witness
So what
to
you're
you,
saying
Nick.
what you're saying is we have a very healthy back and forth conversation, and I consider you a good friend.
There
and
you
a very
go.
great collaborator. Also,
Perfect.
fuck you.
Damn.
Okay, thank you. Anyways. Thanks for having me,
Sometimes
guys.
I wonder why I even come on the show.
It's because you love my ships.
And yet we keep coming back, don't we, Jared? Don't we?
Yes.
I know.
Well,
Just-
I am
just when you thought you were out,
You can't
pull
look
you back
away.
in.
exactly with the fishing reel.
Yeah, exactly.
I am Melee K, one half of Melee Games, and we do all sorts of gaming stuff over on our side of the internet. You can
Bunch
find
of
us
gamers.
Exactly, we're gamers.
Stop it.
It's fine, I don't care. But yeah, you can find us Twitter, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Twitch, all that fun stuff at Melee Games. I think Twitch and Kick is like Melee Games Plays. Anyways, look up Melee Games, you'll find us. And what do I have coming up? Well, tonight I'm going to be on Beelzepub on Devil Made Me Do Its channel at midnight. So if you're up super, super late and you want to hang out and talk about random stuff, I'll be there. But otherwise, on my own channel, I'll be doing the Gifted Games Gallery tomorrow at 5 p.m. PST, which is just us pretty much looking at some games that our community gifted to us. Sunday, we're going to be doing some Steam Roulette. So the wheel's going to decide what we're playing, and that's going to be a fun time. And then Tuesday, we're doing a custom night in Halo. We have 3 spots left. So if anyone wants to come play, just come join our Discord, and we're going to be playing some crazy
Jared, your
Halo games
opportunity.
or something. I don't really know for sure what it is. Dude 1286 is going to run the actual games at night because he's got some ideas. But we're going to have some fun. And yeah, thanks again for having me. I always love the banter and the crazy celebrity theories that we do over here. It's always a fun time, guys.
Well, you're welcome on here anytime, Melee. We love having you over. I
Thank
guess
you.
Chris could only handle so much cringe, so we're gonna pop this one off here.
Like a
Check out
pinball.
Lost Kingdom if you want. Next week we are going to be launching that comic, and and stay tuned for the end of next month for the Friday night feature. I have an idea of what movie it may be, but I'm not sure if that's what it'll actually be. So stay tuned for that one. This is Nick from the Phoenix Press, and remember.
So you're the one.